There's an old saying that suggests one must never, under any circumstances, strike a neighbor's dog. But 29-year-old Iowa native Luke Carter didn't have much of a choice but to break his golden rule. In fact, he shot a dog not once but twice with his 9mm Sig Sauer P365 when it began to maul his dog and threatened his and his father's lives. Now in this video I'll break down the story and the results, but I'll also answer a question everyone asks. Is it legal to shoot a dog in self-defense? But first, a quick reminder. We have a gun giveaway going on right now. You can enter for free, but it ends really soon. So click the link in the description below to reveal which brand new gun you could win. On the afternoon of February 2nd, 2021, Luke Carter and his dad decided to get some exercise by taking a stroll around the block. Carter's friendly 44-pound Labrador Retriever mix was on a leash, and it was a cold but bright February day with a couple of inches of snow on the ground. The men were talking, minding their own business. Carter's lab trotted along, occasionally sniffing and peeing as dogs do, but neither barking nor growling. Carter's 64-year-old father noticed two pit bulls in the driveway on the other side of the street. "Better keep an eye on those two," his father muttered. As suddenly as these words left his lips, one of the pit bulls came charging at them, the other following at a quick walk. Carter yanked his dog behind the only available nearby cover, a green trash receptacle which a neighbor had left next to the street, and hoped the charging pit bull might lose interest. No such luck. His father, who struggles with arthritis, fumbled ineffectually for the pepper spray or stun gun he often carries. It all happened so quickly that they hardly had time to react. The pit bull didn't bark, didn't growl, didn't make a sound, it just charged them. The pit bull whirled around to the trash container and seized Carter's dog by the neck. In less than a second, it had the lab down and began crushing his windpipe. His canine companion struggled and yelped in pain. Carter was wearing boots and gave the pit bull a good kick in an attempt to free his dog from the clenched jaws. He struck it again and once more in the head. The kicks didn't faze the attacking dog at all, and Carter hesitated. What was he going to do? His dog was whining, struggling, and thrashing beneath the 97-pound attacker and gasping for air. Would the enraged dog turn on him or his father next? In desperation, Carter drew his Sig and fired. The bullet hit the attacking canine in the abdomen, but the dog didn't seem to notice that it had been shot. It backed away for a moment and then jumped at the lab again, resuming its attack. Carter fired once more, hitting the dog only a few inches from the first shot. The pit bull released its deadly grip on the lab, turned and walked back toward the house. No limp, no blood dripping on the pavement. The second pit bull also turned and followed. On July 1st, 2021, Iowa became the 19th state to pass constitutional carry. Iowans who are at least 21 years old and who may lawfully possess a handgun will now be able to carry it openly or concealed without a permit. Constitutional carry was not yet the law in Iowa when Carter shot the attacking dog, but he did have a permit to carry. As soon as Carter and his father realized the pit bulls were retreating, the men hustled straight home with the wounded lab. On the way, Carter called 911 to report the incident. To say he was apprehensive about meeting the police is perhaps a bit of an understatement. When he met the uniformed police officers, he wasn't so nervous that he couldn't talk or tell his story in a straightforward manner. Patrol cars were parked at Carter's place before he and his dad got back home. The cops spent more than half an hour interviewing the men and took their statements. Before they left, police examined Carter's dog and confiscated the Sig. Eventually, and rather rapidly, the drama played itself out. Carter was not charged with a criminal offense because it was evident that he had fired to protect himself, his dog, and his father. The law in Des Moines required a pit bull owner to keep his breed of dog confined inside a house or residence or in a fenced yard on a leash, to carry $100,000 liability insurance, and to hold the animal securely on a leash that is no longer than 6 feet when it is being walked. In addition, anyone walking a pit bull must be 18 years or older. The dog that attacked Carter was running loose with its companion. At the time of the attack, no one seemed to be present at the dog's home. The owners subsequently claimed that some unknown person had accidentally left the gate open. This is hardly a responsible or satisfying excuse. Shot twice in the belly, the attacking dog was taken to a veterinary hospital and finally put down. The owners were apparently not charged or ticketed in this incident. Carter said he has not been harassed by anyone, including the owners of the pit bulls, anti-gun neighbors, animal rights activists, or the police. Indeed, the cops finally returned his Sig a couple weeks after the incident. Perhaps Carter's escape was facilitated by the fact that he acted in a legal and responsible manner. He did nothing to provoke the attack, And although his SIG is chambered for 9mm and has a capacity of 10+1 rounds, Carter did not fire more shots than were necessary to protect himself, nor did he fire as the dog retreated. He didn't shoot at the second dog or chase it, even though he did not know what that dog might do. He called 911 and reported the incident immediately, and he cooperated with police, stating, "I thought the pit bull was going to kill my dog," and expressed fear that he did not know what it might have done after that. What surprised Carter most about the situation was how loud the 9mm sounded in that quiet setting, and how negligent the dog's owners were to leave them running free. He asked, what if it had been children walking home from school or playing nearby? What then? After the shooting and the interview with police, Carter told responding officers that the incident made him more cognizant of the difficulty and hazards of police work. "I wouldn't want your job," he told them. Carter has showed remarkable compassion for the dog he shot, even though he acted in self-defense when it attacked. He said, "I love dogs and I hated to shoot it, but I felt I had to." It isn't at all clear what Carter and his dad might have done differently to avoid the attack. Maybe they could have turned back as soon as they first noticed the pit bulls, but it was only a matter of a few seconds from the moment his father spotted the dogs and the attack. And of course, fleeing may have triggered the dog's instinctive chase response, and the situation could have become even worse. Despite the cries of some owners that pit bulls are sweet-tempered by nature, pit bulls can be very dangerous animals. Over a 15-year period from 2005 to 2020, 521 Americans were killed by dogs, and pit bull breeds accounted for more than 66% of those deaths. In many cases, you are not allowed to use deadly force to defend property, and your pets are your property, even though you might consider them members of the family. You need to understand your local and state laws specifically in how you can react to these cases. And you need to have an alternate means of defense if you cannot shoot a dog to defend your own dog from attack. They said that his father was carrying pepper spray and maybe a taser or electronic stun device. Either of those items might have worked, but they could have put you in greater danger getting between a dog that is attacking another dog. So you're going to need to understand what you can and can't do in your jurisdiction before you decide to take out your gun. This could have been a very serious problem for Carter and his father. As it turns out, the laws helped to protect him, and his actions, being responsible every step of the way, making sure that he cooperated with police and was the first to call 911, also helped to make his case for him. These situations are dynamic and dangerous, and the laws are different in all 50 states. Know what you're doing when you carry your gun and when you can and can't use it. You're pulled over by the police and you're carrying concealed. Do you need to do anything special in this scenario? Like tell the officer you have a gun. Click this video right next to me and I'll break down that scenario step by step on what you should do.